Welcome back to Empowered. I'm Elizabeth Namovsky. On today's episode, we're discussing, do certain physical features help people get ahead? So Shunyuan, I want to talk to you about, how does the concept of averageness in facial features contribute to charisma? People might expect that celebrity visual potential, CVP, is largely attractiveness. Could you just elaborate on the role of attractiveness in charisma and how it compares to other factors in contributing to the overall celebrity visual potential score?
Yeah, so let me start with the definition of averageness. Averageness refers to, in our study, the extent to which a face's features align with the average features of all people of the same gender, race, and age range. Average faces may be inferred as more attractive. But in our study, we find that above and beyond attractiveness, averageness has a negative impact on charisma and on CVP. Now, in terms of the role of attractiveness, it is positive but small. And in fact, we find that the dominant facial features are facial width to height ratio, averageness, and high cheekbones. And facial beauty or attractiveness, in contrast, plays a minor role.
So how did you validate the directions and rankings of facial features in relation to charisma, especially considering the deep learning model used?
Yeah, so on a higher level, we validated our model and the findings in a controlled experiment. So the way we did it was that we randomly selected a group of face images from our data. And then for each image, we used the face morphing technique to create kind of tweaked versions of images by making small changes to one or a few facial features. So it's the same face, but different charisma levels because we made minor adjustments to key facial features. Now we randomly assigned these different versions of face images to 1,000 experiment participants. The idea is that we asked them to rate each face image on charisma. And we wanted to show that, to validate the finding, that the participants' ratings must be consistent with our model predictions, which was what we found in the experiment. So that's the way how we validated.
So what does your research finding tell us about how you define charisma in the context of leadership, and what visual or facial aspects, if there are any, that were captured in the model?
Yeah, so so we have some interesting finding in terms of social features in the context of a business leadership. We found was that some social features are more closely associated with charisma in business leadership. And we collected LinkedIn profile images of both C-suite executives and non-C-suite employees of Fortune 500 companies. Mm-hmm. We found was the mean CVP of C-suite executives was more than 4 times that of the average employees. And if you think about when we look at what are the features that were more dominant, more pronounced in C-suite executives as compared to the average employees, we had features like shape of eyes, cheekbones, prominence, facial width to height ratio, and then mouth to nose distance. For this mouth to nose distance, as an example, the C-suite employees on average tend to have a shorter mouth to nose distance, which reduced perceptions of aggression and increased perceptions of a focus and a competence. So when you think about this business leadership, yes, there exist differences in CVP and facial features.
Wow, this is fascinating to me. We've got 1 minute before we go to break. But putting it in practice, how can this piece be used? How might professionals such as hiring managers, business leaders, politicians, influencers practically apply the findings of this research in their respective fields?
Some quick thoughts. One, CVP can guide career choices. If you have a better knowledge of your celebrity potential, it can help you better decide whether you want to pursue a celebrity career. Second is, I think brand managers and campaign managers can use CVP for content creation. where filters, makeup, hairstyles could optimize the visual aspect of charisma for brand ambassadors and political candidates. Can also use AI-generated faces using CVP.
So this whole thing of AI-generated faces actually scares me a little bit. But when we come back, we'll keep talking about the celebrity features and charisma. So please don't go away.